2007, 8. I'll go ahead and get this meeting called to order. For South Carolina Board of Landscape Architectural Examiners, today, May 20. Public notice of this meeting was properly posted at the Synergy Business Park, King Street Building, and on the agency's website, and provided to all requesting persons, organizations, and news media in accordance with -4-80 of the South Carolina Freedom of Information Act. Members of the public who wish to observe may do so by live streaming. Go ahead and start with an approval of today's agendas. If I can have a motion in a second.
Second.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Do I have any opposed? Hearing none, I will go ahead and move on to an introduction of our board members. I'm Edward Kinney, Chairman and Landscape Architect.
Board member, landscape architect.
Andrew Cheatham, board member, landscape architect.
Please, Frank.
That's Mr. Frank Barron, our public matter. And as a reminder to all board members, please speak into the microphones. We are live streaming, and everything that the people who are viewing us on live stream or YouTube will not be able to hear anything. And also for our esteemed court reporter, it's a lot easier for him to record.
And turn off your cell phones. We do have a couple absences here today. Those have been approved. Go ahead and take a motion. Oh, Jean. You're right on time for introductions.
Jean Catalano.
Microphone, please.
Jean Catalano, public board member.
Thank you. I swear we do know what we're doing. All right. And we have one excused absence. I'll take a motion, actually, on that. Thank you.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. All right. Has everyone here had an opportunity to review the meeting minutes from November 5th, 2025? And can I have a motion?
So made.
Accept the minutes.
I have a motion and a second. Thank you very much. All in favor? Do I have any against? Hearing none. Board Chairman's remarks. I have no remarks today. Just thank you for gathering. We should have a fairly short session today, so I appreciate that. And with that, we can move on to staff reports. Mr. Rose.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Board Chair, and good morning, board members and all of our staff and visitors who may be present on today. So before we get started and to get too far into our meeting, just want to have or provide you a couple of housekeeping notes. We've already gotten that one clarification from our advice council, but for the record, again, if you're speaking, we do ask that you ensure that you're close enough to the microphone so that your voice can be captured. You will see that red light that will be illuminated. That means that it's enabled. And should you want to mute yourself for any kind of conversation with your colleague that's sitting next to you, please use that button with the three dots that will mute you so that you're not going to be heard for the record. Just to serve as a reminder to this board, I think you all have been doing an awesome job with this. If you receive any correspondences, such as any letters, any phone calls, any emails, or any text from the public requesting any kind of information or have any questions, please forward them to our office, and myself or Sherry will actually answer those questions. And should that be something that the board needs to take up into one of the board meetings, we will make sure that is an agenda item for you. So if you have any questions or need advice on that subject matter, please reach out to myself, reach out to Sherry, please reach out to our advice counsel, Ms. Sutherland, and we will make sure that we update you properly. Also, board members, I want to take a moment to recognize Ms. Jean Catalano. She has been reappointed to serve here on the board. Her new term will now start on June 30th, 2026, and it will expire, the expiration for your board term will then expire June 30th of 2030. Board members, with that said, staff, Sherry, namely, and myself, we will be doing an audit of board members' terms expiration dates. So if your term is set to expire, she or myself will be reaching out to you to provide those next steps should you be looking for reappointment to this board. I want to stop and take a moment to thank Sherry for sending out the notifications for the legislative session. She does a great job in actually getting those over to you all. So with that said, that second regular session of the 126th South Carolina General Assembly, that convened on Tuesday, January the 13th. And again, Sherry has been sending those out to you all weekly very diligently, so we thank her so much for that. That is going to, the legislative session will be closing this month, and so there's nothing there for this board in particular that has anything down there for that are noteworthy. However, there is a small business regulation that we do have that I would ask our legal counsel to actually provide just an update on that matter.
Thank you. If you may recall, we had a legislative update from Virginia Wetzel with our government affairs liaison, and she, I believe at the end of last session, was giving us an update on two bills in particular. That was House Bill 3021 and Senate Bill 254. Those are parallel bills that were I think the title was Small Business Regulatory Freedom Act, and it was the initial bills were designed to essentially deregulate or make it difficult for any state agency to promulgate regulations without having to come back before them. Otherwise, those regulations would automatically sunset. The updates that I have for you are that on April 28th, the Senate Judicial Full Committee approved the House Bill 3021 with two amendments. The Senate Judiciary Committee amendment was adopted, replacing the House version with a requirement that all agency regulations be reviewed every 5 to 8 years by the Legislative Audit Council. Agencies must report to the Audit Council whether each regulation should be kept, updated, or repealed based on whether it's authorized by law and still necessary. If an agency does not complete its review, it may face temporary limits on issuing new regulations. And as a reminder, this is something that the agency, or our agency, does on a regular basis every 5 years. We review our regulations to make sure that they are still warranted, and if any changes need to be occurring in our regulations, we do have that review already built in place. That amendment incorporates, the bill and adopted by the Senate Judiciary Committee will now advance to the Senate floor for consideration, and assuming it passes the Senate, it will return to the House for concurrence or non-concurrence with the Senate amendments. If they non-concur, then the next step is a conference committee where the 3 members from both bodies will work together to reach a solution. You, as Mr. Rose said, should be getting weekly updates for legislative updates. You can check on those at any time. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to us, Sherry. I will do my best, and if I can't answer those questions for you, I will certainly find the answers for you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sutherland. And also to continue with that board executives report, in your board meeting materials, board members, you will see a report as well, just detailing the licenses that we do have currently here with this profession. Currently, the board has 820 individual landscape architects and 248 firms that are actively licensed, and a list of staff level licenses that have been issued from November the 1st, 2025 is included in those meeting handouts, and 32 licenses have been issued since the last board meeting in November. Board members, this is going to be an agenda item, but wanted to go ahead and give you just a little quick update or a quick announcement in that regard. The CLARB annual meeting is going to be held August the 27th through the 29th in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And details will be forwarded to the board members as they are more released. And we just urge you, of course, to ensure that your passport is up to date if you're interested in attending this meeting. And again, board members, we're going to be discussing and voting upon that approval later on in this agenda. Also, board members wanted to provide you an update regarding the audits with CE Broker. I believe we had a very successful CE Broker audit for this round of renewals. So, board members, we're going to be moving forward with utilizing CE Broker for our renewal seasons. So, building that into our renewal. So, if you all have any questions, need to see how CE Broker works a little bit more in detail, please let us know, and then we will make sure that we provide that information to you that have been made available for resources for us as well. The LAIR is being offered July 27th through August the 12th of 2026, and the registration opens in late May and will close on July the 22nd. And lastly, board members, the next board meeting is going to be held August 5th, 2026, and we hope to see all of you then at that next board meeting. And not lastly, but this is going to be the last agenda item or the last report I will give to you. In your meeting materials, board members, you are going to see a copy of the cash report that is updated through March 31st, 2026. And the total ending cash balance for this board is $296,857.78. And again, that is updated through March 31st, 2026. And board members, Mr. Chair, I will entertain any questions that the board may have in regards to my reports.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. Do you have any questions about anything Mr. Rose has brought up today? Or any questions for Mrs. Sutherland about the legislative changes?
When is, Jean Catalano, when is the next meeting?
August 5th.
August the 5th. Yes, ma'am.
And did I miss the congratulations to Mr. Kenny for his election as a reappointment to, not a reappointment, appointment as president of the next?
Well, we actually be talking about that too in our next agenda item.
Oh, sorry. I
No,
didn't mean to
you're
jump
fine.
the
No,
gun.
you're fine. You're good. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Johnny. I think we can go ahead and move on to item 8B. Waddy Wharton to discuss from the Office of Investigations and Enforcement.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Morning.
Good morning. This is for your information. From January 1st, 2025 through April 25th, 2026, we have received a total of 14 complaints, 0 which are active, 0 are closed, and 13 were do not open. The next case will be in my next report. The one that's, since the math doesn't math on this one, the one will be on our next report, which is the IRC report. This is for your approval. On January 20th, 2026, we held an IRC with Michael Athenas, Dennis DeFrancisco, and Stephen Mellon. We have one case for your approval. It is a dismissal, 2025-4.
So, yeah, so we need to take a vote on that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so case 2025-4, complaint alleges misconduct by ignoring existing established property lines resulting in encroachment on the complainant's property. I violates licensure stand. That?
Yes, sir. The IRC recommended a dismissal for the same reason.
Okay.
Motion for approval of the dismissal.
Yes.
I'll make such.
Motion and a second. Thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye.
Do I hear any opposed? Thank you very much. Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, moving on. Ms. Leanna McMenamin for the Office of Disciplinary Counsel.
Yes, good morning, everyone. This is a zero report from ODC. We have yet to have any cases come forward to our department here at LLR, so we have neither opened or closed any cases so far this calendar year, which I think is a good thing. Not a lot of problems in your field. So that's it from ODC. Thank you.
Much. We run a tight ship, us landscape architects. Moving on to item number 9, new business, Council of Landscape Architecture Registration Boards, the CLARB. I think we have to go ahead and take a vote on travel expenses. We're not going to take a vote on specifically who we are sending, but I believe that,
I think you need to delineate board members versus staff, like the number, but you don't need to identify the individuals.
I think from our last conversations, I believe that we had discussed 2 board members and 1 staff member.
That's correct, yes, sir.
Okay. And can you give us a little more information about that before someone makes a motion to approve?
Sure thing. So the CLARB annual meeting for this year is going to again be held in Calgary, Alberta. That's in Canada. That's going to begin Wednesday, August the 26th, and that would conclude on the 29th of August. So again, we're just looking for 2 board members and 1 staff, or the approval for 2 board members and 1 staff. And also for the record, we do want to be very much so understanding of what's going on with the travel right now, what's going on with the airline. So we want to make sure that we're not wasteful with the board's money. So would love for the board members to attend, and if staff is not able to attend, we would just ask that the board members would update us with those findings from the CLARB annual meeting for this year.
Thank you. And as Gene alluded to, I will be there regardless. So when we entertain a motion to fund this travel, I'll make a note that I'd ask anyone who's interested in participating to reach out to staff, and then we'll make some decisions on. And please, this gives you some time to look at your calendars. All right. So yes, I'm looking for a motion.
Make a motion to approve
For
the
clarity,
funding.
for 2 board members and 1 staff?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. Very good. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Do I have any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. I think this is the final item on our agenda for today.
If we could stay there just
Yes,
for
sir.
a moment,
Yeah.
Mr. Chair. Also to segue into for CLARB, we did get this regarding the candidates for the 2026 ballot. And of course, as we have already been updated by Ms. Catalano, that you have been selected as the president-elect to be on the ballot, as well as the Leadership Advisory Council, Mr. Brandon Doss and Ms. Jennifer Fabregas is also on this ballot as well. So we will actually just need this to be completed and also submitted by July the 24th of this year so that we could actually get this ballot and the credentialing back to CLARB in a timely manner. So in your meeting materials, you will see that information that's there. And with this ballot, it would just be an affirm or a not affirm. But there looks like there is no opposition whatsoever for this. So again, we will fill this form out and send it back in to CLARB should the board members approve for this affirmation or also to not affirm.
So this too apparently needs a vote as well.
Yes, sir.
So I guess the motion, the potential motion in front of us is either to affirm or to reject the candidates as selected by the LAC for. Correct?
I make a motion to affirm the candidates ballot provided in our documents.
Second.
I have a second. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Do I hear any opposed? Very good. Motion passes then to affirm. I will say that there is purposefully in CLARB leadership, there's purposely a little bit of an information disconnect between the LAC, and that is the Leadership Advisory Council and the candidates, because they do try to keep those things clear. So I have to say, I don't know who Jennifer Prescott is, but I've read her resume and portfolio, and it looks quite good, and I have a lot of faith in the LAC. I do know Brandon Doss. He's worked a lot on our examinations committees. He's been involved in CLARB for a number of years. This Edward Kinney character, though.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Chair. Congratulations. That's definitely in order.
Thank you very much. Very good. So I believe with that, we can move on to our next item of business, which is discussion of qualifications for board members. And I believe, Mr. Simmons, this was a question that you brought up.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Well, the question is, I'm getting to be 80, I may be retiring from practice, so does that continue as a board, as a registered landscape architect, or do I go off the board, or do I become a public member? How does that affect?
Thank you, Mr. Simmons. So the answer is that although landscape architects do have an emeritus status, they are inactive. And in looking at your Practice Act, Section 402860, it appears that the emeritus status, though, is that's where we show that it's an inactive status. However, when you go to the definitions of what it is, it means a landscape architect who has been designed for licensed for 10 consecutive years or longer, who is 65 or older, and who is not engaging or offering to engage in the practice of landscape architect. When we look as to the requirements in your statute of what the board should look like, that's in the composition is listed in 402810, and it states that the governor shall appoint 5 licensed landscape architects and 2 members of the general public. So it does not appear that an emeritus status would be actively licensed, and then such they could not serve in that capacity as a professional member. Then looking for the next question, which is, can they then serve as a public member? That is covered in section of the Engine Act 40-1-45. A public and consumer membership may not include current or former active or inactive members of the profession or occupation being regulated. So the answer is neither. So if you're appointed by the governor and you no longer wish to remain on the board, or you are no longer eligible to remain on the board, we would ask that you notify staff in writing of your intent and with an effective date, and that we would then communicate that to the governor's office so that your appointment can be filled in the manner which you received it.
Okay, thank you.
So are you currently emeritus?
No, I'm currently practicing, and what I understand, the way I understand it is, as long as I have a license and practicing, I can be on the board.
Right.
Or let's say anyone can be on the board. But if you go into, and I totally understand why you would not have a previous landscape architect as a public member, and I appreciate that. I think that's appropriate. So that gives me direction of what I may or may not do.
Like you can't retire yet.
I have not retired yet, and I don't,
I don't think you can.
nobody knows health, nobody knows anything, but
His boss hadn't been notified.
that's right. Of course, he is my boss.
All right. Well, thank you for that information. Appreciate it. All right. I see, yes,
If
sir.
we may we have a sidebar just for a moment,
Please.
Mr. Chair and Vice Counsel? All right, thank you so much, Mr. Chair and Vice Counsel, for that sidebar, but we really wanted to also, there have been a couple of questions from board members regarding the powers and duties of the board, specifically when it comes down to the financial side of it. In your meeting materials, board members, you are going to see a handout labeled 9B, and that is labeled the legal authority for board members. If you will notice and scroll down to section 40-1-70, the powers and the duties of the board, and just to give you just a brief summary about what the duties and the powers of board members are. So just determine the eligibility of the applicants for examination and licensure, adopting a code of professional ethics appropriate for the profession or this occupation which licenses or regulates, resolving consumer complaints, disciplining persons, and filing claims against any surety bond. And again, just a segue when it comes down to the financial side of it, just want to update you all because there have been some questions from some board members dealing with the finances. But there, and just to be very cautious and careful of how we actually deal with those finances, board members, you're not able to, so to speak, not have a say-so about where those finances.
So Johnny,
were
I'm
to
gonna
go.
I'm gonna stop you there as
Okay.
I feel like you're running into an interpretation of the law.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And I would just ask that if any board member has further questions about interpretation of the law, then I would ask that we take that up in executive session for legal advice.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Would anybody like to discuss this further?
Get closer to the mic, Mr. Barron.
Lean into the microphone, please, so we can hear you. Thank you.
Not a professional member. I'm here to represent the public, and we're taking in money, and it's going somewhere. I'd just like to know more details about why we're taking in what we are, why we charge the amount of fees we do, and I'd like to know what happens to that money.
All right. Is there a motion to go into executive session for legal advice?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, any opposed? Thank you. We will now enter into executive Very much. I will note that there were no decisions made, no vote executive session. So I believe with that, we can move on to public comment, if we have any.
No public on today, Mr. Chair.
Public here today. All right. Anything further for the good of the board? All right.
A motion we adjourn.
I'll take that motion in a second.
Second.
Thank you very much. This is adjourned. Thanks, everybody.